It is breakfast time. We're 3 days out and got my P28 high protein, so 28 grams of protein, a little bit more carbs. It's like 40 something grams of carbs, but I'm kind of trying to carb up a little bit today, shooting for just over 300 grams of carbs today. And so that's the plan. We got the SinFit dressing, or not dressing, pancake syrup, 0 calories. We got the raspberry flavored, it's like a jam. It's not really jam. That's what it looks like. You got to kind of use a fork to spread it out. But it sort of has that jam taste, and it's 0 calories. This whole meal, I can't remember the exact calories, but, it is what it is. I'm trying to get some carbs into me and some protein still, so not too bad. We're shooting for like 2,300 calories today with about 300 grams of carbs. Have done my morning walk, got my 3 miles in, basically eating this, and then it's shower, go to the gym, then a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm going to take you through a lot of the day, some of the meals, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Just depends what's happening and what I can remember to bring my phone out and shoot video for. All right, so what I might shoot next is maybe the InBody testing. I want to get InBody tested at Fitness World and see what my body fat percentage is now that we're 3 days out, getting pretty close. All right. Everyone, midday update. So I just finished working out at the gym. This is the last workout. I'm so happy to be done. It was a shoulder workout, primarily with some calves and core. Of course, the goal this week has been to just get 1,000 calories in per workout. Not get hurt, not push it too hard, just get a nice pump, get a lot of reps, a lot of sets. And that's exactly what I did. It went really well. I felt actually pretty strong. I felt good. Well, I obviously wasn't lifting as much as I normally do, but maybe I could have lifted more, but it felt good. I basically got to about 900 calories during my workout, and then I went and did some posing and burned a few more, got up to that 1,000 calories. No problem. Before I did the workout, I did get an InBody test done. I had one done last Friday, and so I wanted to do one. Basically, this is my last opportunity because tomorrow we fly out. So I went in at Steve Nash Fitness World here. They have an InBody machine, I think it's the 570. It's a good machine, and it tests your whole body. It sends the current through everything independently and gets a really accurate reading. It's very close to DEXA scan within just like a few percentages in comparison. So it really does a good job. And so last time on Friday I was I tested it as a 50-year-old and as a 20-year-old. Now it really shouldn't matter. I think the difference in discrepancy was mainly because it was 2 separate tests, and these things they're not perfect. So every time you get tested, there might be some weird thing going on, or maybe you're breathing different, or maybe your body moisture was different. So it can, if you do a test a few minutes apart, it can actually be slightly different. It shouldn't be really radically different. So as a 50-year-old, I was at 6.6, and as a 20-year-old, I was at 6.2. So let's just say I was 6.4. That was Friday. Today, which is Wednesday, not even a week later, been cutting hard. I did it just as a 50-year-old, and I was at 5.1. Okay, so we're down more than 1%, which was my goal this week, was to get down at least 1% into the 5s, mid 5s to low 5s, and I did it. Also keep in mind, I'm carbed down, and that does make a difference because the way that these electrical current sort of readers work, or whatever you want to call them, they're sending a current through your body, and they're reading water, essentially, and moisture. And they know that a muscle has more water and fat has less. So they can look at the feedback that they get, how much water is in your body, and determine how much muscle mass you have versus fat. That's how they do it. Now, when you're carbed down, you have less glycogen in your muscles, which means you also have less water in your muscles, because glycogen and muscles have a ratio that they try to stay at. So less glycogen means less water in your muscle. And I'd have to say I'm down at least 5 pounds, maybe if not more, from being carbed down. That'll change when I carb back up and get to a normal carb state. I'm not trying to overcarb. I just want to get back to kind of what I would normally be at without spilling over. Now, that said, I should probably be a little heavier. I was 193. I'm going to say I should be closer to 200, on the high end, above 195, maybe 197, 198. maybe as high as 200 pounds fully carved up. That means there's like 5 to 6 pounds of water that's missing out of my body. If that water was in my body, I would have got a lower reading on this scan. So keep that in mind. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm very happy with 5.1, but I have a feeling that I would have dropped just under 5 if I had been hydrated properly. Anyways, we're gonna go do a tan, the last tan over at Fit for Less in the tanning booth. I'll do a little bit of posing, and I'll have that video in this video at some point, probably at the very end. I'm probably gonna have some little short video clips of some food that I eat, so there's gonna be a little bit more. I don't know, it depends what I just feel like doing throughout the day. All right, so we'll see you in the next clip. So this is part A of my lunch. It's kind of late though. It's almost like I think 1:30 or something like that. So I'm going to be having this as a pre-lunch thing. It's basically just a 80-calorie chicken breast. It looks big in the camera here, but it's not that big, with a tomato. There's some chives underneath it because I ran out of onions. Just lettuce. It's open face, and then I got some tzatziki sauce, and then some mustard and sriracha and some spices. It's pretty low cal. It's tasty though, with some cheese, just a little sprinkle of Tex-Mex. It's not a lot of cheese. It looks like more than it is just because this camera's making everything look huge. But yeah, so the next part of my lunch, I'm gonna sort of try to delay it a bit just so that I can stretch things out, because I'll get a little hungry before dinner. And actually, I'm not gonna be eating dinner till after my son's soccer, which is probably closer to 8 o'clock. So I'm gonna have to stretch this dinner or this lunch situation out a little bit. Probably grab a coffee. I'm gonna have like these rice cake type things with a little peanut butter, PB2 peanut butter and some jam, starting to carb up this afternoon. So I'll see if I can share that with you maybe, but for sure I'll share dinner. That'll be a highlight, some cod with some rice. Yeah, things are going good. Lunch part 2. We have these, basically they're crispy minis, caramel chocolate chip with PB2 and Kirkland organic strawberry spread. So the PB2, I put 2 tablespoons on each one and 1 tablespoon of the organic strawberry spread on each one of these guys. And they're very tasty. And I eat these contest prep, well, basically at the show. So I'll be downing some of these, but I'll be actually putting regular peanut butter. By that point in time, I don't need to worry about the low fat. This is much lower fat peanut butter. Basically it's 45 calories, I believe, per 2 scoops. And there's basically 2 on each one. Anyways, it's pretty good. 5 grams of protein. So I've got 10 grams of protein just in the peanut butter here. But I'm not going for protein, I'm going for carbs. So that's why the actual organic strawberry spread, and that's why I have the slightly more sugary minis. I like these guys. You could go plain if you want to, but I really like these ones. So I might eat them both now, or one now and save one for a little bit later, just to space it out before dinner. All right, everybody. We're walking. I get a little foggy here. The weather sucks. Just trying to get some calories burnt. I'm at my son's soccer practice. He practices for an hour and a half, so I might as well walk for maybe an hour and a half. See how many miles I can get in, maybe 3 to 4. We'll see. I'm going to try and do the whole thing, but we'll see how the energy holds out. That's what you got to do when you're trying to keep the calories. You know, calories in versus calories out. Deficit happening. Still got to keep that going on, at least for a couple more days. All right. Dinner is served. We have some cod here, Alaskan Pacific cod. I think so. I can't even remember what it's called. Anyways, it's cod. And we have some rice, basmati rice, a little bit of lemon, soy sauce. We've got some tzatziki and some onions and chives and things like that. Some garlic, just a little bit of butter, not much. And then my Diet Coke, Coke Zero. And that's 200 grams of rice. And I think it's about, each piece of cod is about 4 ounces or so, I can't remember. But very tasty. Gonna enjoy this. Evening snack part 1. Got some oatmeal, 2 packs of these Quaker Oats instant with a little bit of this marshmallow dip. It's basically calorie free in there, just to give it a little bit more sweetness. Make it seem like it's more than it is. And after this, I'll be having some more of those rice cakes that I showed you earlier, but I'll be having more of those. Here we are, 3 days out. This is what 5.1% body fat looks like.